to talk about this. I've been putting this off for a while, and I started this on Saturday during my Saturday stream, but I had a bunch of tech issues, so I couldn't fully address some of the stuff that was coming out. But we had a massive scandal leak over the weekend, and this actually comes from Emiru. Now, to preface this, Emiru started talking about this because of what went down post TwitchCon, because this came out a week after her assault at TwitchCon. Through this stream, something massive was revealed that shook the very foundation of Twitch and a lot of the people involved with Twitch and a lot of their communities out there. So we have this. Emiru was live talking about her story. Now, what's her story? Well, we'll play it.
I'm finally going to be opening up about the psychological and domestic abuse, stalking and harassment, sexual assault, and threats of blackmail that Ms. Kiff has done towards me, and some of these issues which are still ongoing. For the entirety of this year, I have attempted to separate myself from him and not talk about him at all, and not talk about this issue and just not make it a public thing. I always tried my best to keep this to myself, but like I said, I feel like it's gone to the point, which I'll explain later, that I feel like it just has to be done.
And I'm not gonna lie, guys, some of these we've already hit, a lot of these you've already heard. We're just gonna hit through a few of these right now just to lay out the groundwork, but what was being alleged is nightmarish and insane, because we have this. Emiru says that Ms. Kiv has been indirectly threatening her for a while, and this is one that we do need to play because, well, I'll show you here in a little bit.
I don't want what happened to me or what has happened to other people because of him to happen to other people, and I don't believe he will ever stop behaving the way he does. But regardless, yeah, like I said, one of the main reasons I decided to do this stream is to come out about all of this, because I can't hold on to it any longer, because it feels wrong to do so. And an honorable mention reason for why I'm doing this is that for a while, he has been indirectly threatening me through my friends and people that I work with. They've informed me that he said that if I ever talked about anything he did, he would try to create a smear campaign against me in retaliation. I was told that he even approached other streamers who were close with us back when we lived together, asking them if they would join with him, and they all refused. At TwitchCon, he approached one of my employees, threatening them and saying if I ever talked about him, he would destroy me. Multiple people have told me that his plan was to claim that I kill animals and that I killed my own rabbits, since I had several of my rabbits pass away over the course of 3 years while I lived with him. I'm sure he's probably listening now, and it's probably going to come as quite a shock to him that this information made its way back to me and that I've known for months. But if you try to threaten me to stay quiet, especially using my poor dead animals, I'm not going to stay quiet.
And wouldn't you have it? Because I have it over here in another tab. Yeah, he quite literally did that. When we start off, which one is it that I want to pull up right now? Right here. We'll do this one first, okay? Ms. Kiff openly admits that he did this.
Can you clarify what, if anything, was said to her team at TwitchCon? I said that if she goes after me, then I will go nuclear. And that is exactly what I said.
And that is exactly what you tried to do.
And that is what's going to happen. Because you can't mess with me anymore. I don't have anything to lose. I'm sorry, I don't. Go after me all you want. I have nothing to lose.
I just glitched out there, but he said at the very end there, I have nothing to lose. Then literally says exactly what she accused him of, that he was going to go after the rabbits. And yeah.
I never want to talk about this.
Yes, you do.
Emiru has a lot of rabbits. It was her calling when she first moved in.
Bro, turn your TTS if you're going to be addressing this shit off. Jesus Christ.
These were a big part of her life. But as those rabbits moved out of her room and into the living room, they started to see disgusting neglect. No food, no water, sometimes not having clean bedding for weeks. I, along with many others who would come over, would give them what they needed, and I would tell her all the time to take care of them, but to no avail. She completely neglected those rabbits, so much that many of them just died over 1 year of...
Again, that's his TTS going off saying 7 over and over again. Bro, why are you having that on when you're doing these statements? That is nightmare. Why are you even popular? You're running your stream like shit.
Being around in my house. My cleaning ladies would clean them just because they felt terrible. And my brother once came over and said, and I quote, "If you ever marry this woman, I'll never forgive you." I didn't even know there was TTS going on.
Bro, you're an idiot. But we have 2 things, okay? We got 2 things. Ms. Gift did decide to show off what one of the cages allegedly looked like, okay? This is what one of the cages looked like.
Here is a video up close of Emiru's rabbits. These are small little mites that are inside the rabbit cage, and she didn't care. She completely neglected these animals, and I'm not going to sit around and let people say that she didn't. People who came to my house knew that they were neglected. This is an up-close view of the rabbit cage being completely disgusting and neglected.
One, we don't get to see any of the rabbits in here, so we don't know why it looks disgusting or anything like that. And that's going to be relevant to the next video I'm about to show you guys.
She left them to die, and I'm not going to sit here and have her pretend she didn't.
I don't believe she did because, well, we actually have video evidence of what her rabbit cages looked like. This is from one of her streams where they even point out what Emiru's rabbits cages really look like. No mites, water and food bowls, hidey holes for shades if it's hot, roofed over a balcony with a fan. And we get to see like a really good look at this. Night, Kaylee.
You got a fancy ass door, bro. We're gonna go now, people, okay? Say goodbye to your friends.
Yeah,
Everyone say goodbye to people, please.
I don't see any mites. I don't see anything. Rabbit looks perfectly fine.
Bye, people. Good luck in prison, brother.
And we can see, like, this is where she would keep her rabbits. This is an upstairs balcony. It is roofed. It has a fan.
Resolution. Oh my god, this is wet. Why am I sitting on it? Whatever.
You can see, like, there's this one that looks a little untoward right now, but I don't see a rabbit in it. So very easily, that video that he could have been taking is from a cage that she might have been cleaning out with no rabbit in it.
Are any other rabbits cool? This one's cool. How do you pet this one? This one?
Yeah, they look clean.
Oh my god, he looks kind of scary. What the fuck?
So I don't have any reason to believe you, buddy, because we have contradictory evidence. And I get it. It's a he said, she said situation. We don't know the truth. But we have this. I want to do both of these. One, Emiru talks about some of the abuse she experienced.
You can go see this in some of his VODs in his bedroom. The holes in the wall. There would be times where he was upset at me, and I would go to my stream room and literally lock myself in to get away from him, and he would be banging on the door and screaming at me. And at the time, he also would more often do things like going, like if we were driving in the car together, he would be going like 150 miles an hour, and like one time he even said like, well, now we're both gonna die, like threatening to kill both of us. And this wasn't like even necessarily because of me or like because of something I did a lot of the time. Like one of the times that it happened, it was because we were just getting food and he was on his phone and he saw that Mr. Beast had put out a video.
This next thing sounds super schizo, by the way, what she's about to say. Like, I've heard this a couple times now. Why the hell would you do what he does here?
And Mr. Beast had invited another streamer, and he was like, oh, Mr. Beast invited this guy to his video, not me. And I was like, oh, well, you know, like, huh, yeah, I guess so. Which led to him going 150 miles per hour in the car and talking about killing himself while doing it. Then at home, other things would happen, like I'd be trying to sleep and he would scream at me and say that it was all my fault that he felt insecure. There was a time that I walked into a room that he was in, and as soon as he saw me there, he threw his phone at the dresser and started yelling because I had posted a YouTube video within the same couple of days as him, and mine was doing better. So basically, I felt like I was kind of stuck in a loop where I felt like I had to constantly perform and like prove my value to not be thrown away.
Real quick, I should have stopped this a little sooner. Emiru will always put out a video that will outperform Mizkif. That is just a natural progression of things. I mean, look at her. What does she have that Mizkif obviously doesn't have? She's a highly attractive young woman. Nothing Mizkif can do will ever be able to compete with Emiru being a highly attractive young woman. It doesn't matter what he does. She has woman privilege here. She will always outperform him. It's easy mode for her. Now, what she's saying here, I'm not trying to discredit. What she's saying here is legitimate. He had no reason to act the way he has allegedly been acting here. It doesn't make any sense, and it does show insecurity up the wazoo.
But at the same time, if I ever performed too well, I was going to be punished for it.
Which it is just mind-boggling to say the least. But I want to get to this one. Now, I'm going to be fair here. I don't think this is actually SA by the legal definition of it all. It's not good, what is about to be said here. It is not good by any stretch of the imagination. But I'm not going to say it's SA just because I don't think it's legally SA.
And I was crying like crazy because the emotions were just very high, because I was dealing with a lot of major shifts in my life as a result of me attempting to start to try to distance myself from him. So yeah, we were just talking and I was crying a lot. He started to try to comfort me by hugging me while I was sitting on the couch and holding me really close to him. And when this was happening, we hadn't talked in quite a while, and I'm usually very uncomfortable with being touched a lot by people that I'm not in a relationship with. But I let him hold me while I was crying. And he started kissing me in my face, and I let him do it. I was still sobbing a lot.
Which okay. You're not in a relationship, but you let him do it because I guess you guys were in a relationship at one period of time. And then how this progresses doesn't make sense.
And then, suddenly, he tried to climb on top of me and aggressively shoved his hand down my pants. And, I screamed. Yeah. And when I screamed, he jumped off me like a cat, like. And, instead of apologizing or checking if I was okay, he said, I feel weird now. I feel like I did something wrong.
Which you did. You did do something wrong. You read the situation entirely wrong and tried to progress it a way she was not wanting to. And I don't know why anybody would think she would want to do it if she's bawling her eyes out in this period of time. That doesn't make any logical sense. Is it SA? I don't really think so, but it is really awkward and really stupid to do.
I have to go. And he immediately left my house while I was still crying without, checking if I was okay or anything. And at the time, I was still making excuses for him, and I was still afraid of causing trouble for other streamers around us, or like, you know, making things weird for viewers. I know that probably sounds crazy, but like I just felt this pressure, like I had to try to keep things together, if that makes sense.
Which it does somewhat make sense if you're not thinking quite logically with everything. But well, could have been a he said she said situation, but nope, he had to come out here and confirm the situation.
We broke up for about a month, then got back together because we thought we can make it work.
Now she's saying that they weren't still together, but hey, you know what? He said, she said kind of a thing, but it doesn't get better, guys. It gets worse.
We went to get food at BJ's, a common place where we would get food, and then we went back to her house. We cuddled for about 30 minutes and started to kiss. She said that she was okay with this on her stream, and I started to advance to the next stage.
She said she was okay with you kissing her while she was bawling her eyes out. That is different.
Because I thought that's what she wanted.
Where would any of this be what she wanted? If she's telling the truth, which I have no reason to disbelieve her right now, if she's bawling her eyes out while you're kissing her, why would she want to progress to the next stage? Think of this in a logical manner. Think of this at all. You're trying to reference her stream where she's openly saying, I'm crying and he's kissing me, which I was okay with the kissing, even though I really wasn't super comfortable with it. I was okay with it. You tried to progress while she's crying. Think this through, dude. You're retarded.
She yelped, and I immediately sprung up and was scared if I did anything wrong, or did wrong in general.
You did do something wrong. You tried to have sex with her when she obviously wasn't in the mind to do this. Like, why admit to this? Why come out here and say any of this stuff? This doesn't make you look good. This makes you look insane.
I got scared and left the house. I apologize if that made Emmy uncomfortable for me not saying sorry, and I wish I said sorry back then.
No, you don't. You wish you said sorry back then because now she's talking about it. You said that you were going to go nuclear. Remember in that past clip about her talking to her employees at TwitchCon and saying, if she said anything, I'll go nuclear. You're now going nuclear. Your nuclear option is just confirming what Emiru said and trying to paint her as a bad person. And I don't know how. Like, she didn't take care of her rabbits, which we don't really have evidence to support your claim. We have evidence to actually support that she did take care of her rabbits.
But we got back together soon afterwards. And
yes,
during those last few months where we were fighting, we were still fighting, but it did feel like the relationship had good progress. And we were both agreed we need to talk about our future. Since it's been 3 years, we should see what we want. And Emmy had an idea to write down everything we wanted on paper. I'm going to let everyone know that what I'm about to say is very true. This is exactly what happened, and she cannot argue this. One day, after staying over Emiru's house, Emiru made me breakfast, and she wrote down everything she wanted. She wrote she wants me to move closer to her. She wrote that she wants me to marry her, and she wants kids with me in the next 5 years.
I have no reason to believe anything you're saying right here, dude.
And I just looked at this letter that was staring in front of me, and I just handed her back the paper. She began to cry, and I told her, I'm sorry, I just can't do this anymore. I knew we were just beyond the point of toxicity in the relationship, that our trust had completely died, and that we had so many issues that I couldn't deal with it, and I was not mentally well.
I'm a little stunned too. You know, like, part of me, I only stopped at him basically destroying his whole entire legal defense, like a bug mean over here says. Like, I kind of stopped after that whole, like, you confirmed the whole pseudo sexual assault is what I'm going to be calling it right now. You confirmed that, and then you have this beautiful girl. According to you, you have this beautiful girl right here. Lovely individual. Somebody who anybody would be jealous if you actually had on your arm. According to you, throwing yourself at you at this point in time after you tried to, boink her when she was uncomfortable to do it. Literally saying, I want to get married. I want to have kids. I want to do all this stuff. Move closer to me. Do all this stuff. You have this girl throwing herself at you, according to you, and you said no. Wow, you really are stupid, aren't you? You really are a stupid person. Where did that entire clip go? Did I exit out of it by accident? I think I did. How stupid do you end up being to be that kind of an individual? Right here it is. How are you that stupid of a person? How?
I walked away. I went to her door, and as I opened it, the last words I ever heard her say is, "Don't go. I love you."
So then why are you nuking her? Again, this is a little bit of a live reaction here. Why are you nuking her? Why are you doing any of this stuff to her? By the way, she does have screenshots. I don't think I have the screenshots pulled up of you just basically stalking her. But it kept getting better because we have this. Emiru alleges that Ms. Kiff gave her a black eye one time by throwing his phone at her. Threw plastic bottles at me, despite me saying I didn't like it, and it scared me. And we'll just listen to her.
I would tell him, you know...
Here, we'll start this from the beginning.
He would throw bottles, like plastic bottles with liquid in it, not like glass bottles, at me, despite me telling him, like, I didn't like it, and it scared me, and I bruised very easily. He would throw his phone at me. I would tell him, you know, it scared me, I don't like it. And one time it even hit me in the eye, which caused me to get a black eye, but he always, you know, was like, oh, it's an accident. And I was like, oh yeah.
Which, yeah, he said this. And then he denied it. But said that, yes, he did throw stuff at her.
First time I felt love for a girl, and I thought I'd want it to never let it go. The first year of our relationship, we almost had no fights. We started to date officially in January of 2022, and up until my cancellation, everything was perfect. She brushed over that I threw water bottles or my phone near her, but that wasn't during fights. I want to make that very clear. It would be me throwing my phone on my bed when I brushed my teeth. She did tell me she got a bruise from it, and I stopped. That's all that happened. I will throw you and show you an example, chat.
You will throw me and show me an example.
Right here. Look at me.
We can't see you. We can't see you, bro. You're off camera.
I would throw my phone on the bed. I would just lob it over because I was going to bed. So I would just throw the phone.
Again, confirming that you threw stuff
That's it.
at her. I don't believe you.
And when that's the whole thing. I didn't throw it at her. I want to make that very clear. I never threw it at her.
But you did. You technically did.
I never hit her. And she even said in her situation that she bruises easily. She brushed over that I threw water bottles with her on my or my phone near her, but that wasn't during our fights. It would be throwing my phone on my bed when I brushed my teeth. She did tell me she got bruises from it, and I stopped. That's all.
So how did she get bruises? How did she get bruises? If you never threw it at her, how did she get a bruise? Because she got a bruise. How? And mind you, I have this from Rima. Okay, I have this from Rima. And because I couldn't find the raw version of it, so I have a Rima version, which it does make me laugh because this is his excuse for why he acted in some of the ways he did.
Situations with poor taste to myself. I'm ashamed that the situations got so bad, but Emmy was also violent. She would throw clothes or plushies at me, and I punched holes in the walls or slammed doors in aggression.
And I have to pause it because Rima's reaction always gets me laughing because none of that is comparable. None of that is comparable. Throwing a plushie at you is not the same as you punching a wall or slamming a door. None of that is comparable, my dude. That is insane to say, to confirm this shit. None of this is helping your defense. This kept getting worse. And we can keep going through all these lists of things. You know, we could say Emiru claims Mizkiv has been obsessing over her through indirect measures. I do know that she ended up showing off a bunch of information, like a bunch of texts. She has said that she will be seeking a restraining order on Mizkiv.
I also want to say, just so people know, that I'm not just trying to, like, put this out there and then, you know, I am already in the process of filing a restraining order on him in both Texas and California.
Which I have no reason to disbelieve again, because he has been acting schizo. And I wish I had the screenshot right now of all the DMs he has been sending to her. I wish I had that on hand right now, but I didn't pull it up. Bro, you're insane. And this has led to a fury of individuals coming out here, just a myriad of people. You would think, hey, if it's a he said, she said, there would at least be one person coming out here to the defense of Mizkif. Ain't nobody coming out here defending Mizkif. Everybody's saying, yeah, dude, there's blood in the water. You're a POS. No, I've heard Mizkif has been a POS for years, but we also have OTK, which was the group that they were all a part of at one point in time, putting out a statement on this. And to be quite clear again, everybody's coming out against you and pointing out just how awful of an individual you are, chances are you're an awful individual. OTK dropped statement in support of Emiru, and we'll read through this and we'll just start wrapping this segment up. OTK fully supports its co-owner and sister Emiru, and we stand by her side and admire her strength in coming forward and sharing her story. While Mizkif was one of several founders of OTK, the organization terminated its relationship with him some time ago for reasons unrelated to the recent events, and he holds no stake in OTK or any of our other companies. Out of respect for those who have come forward, we will let their voices speak above ours, which there's a lot. Guys, you can look up Mizkif. You will find myriad of individuals coming out here saying their situations with Mizkif, calling Mizkif out, saying how awful of an individual Mizkif truly is. And I don't normally follow through with these trends. I don't normally do the, oh, believe all women. Oh, there's all this evidence, all these people saying just how awful you are. I don't normally do that. But the thing is here, it's a little bit of a different situation, because just remember this, okay? Even prior to this event, there was a myriad of individuals always saying just how awful Mizkif was. There was people always hinting that something serious went down behind the scenes with Mizkif. What Mizkif did is a schizo. What Mizkif is, this has been going on for a long period of time, years at this point in time, in fact, of how many people kept calling out Mizkif and saying, Mizkif, you need to come forward and say the truth. You need to be honest about this, or else somebody else is going to do it and you ain't going to like the consequences. That has been going on for a long period of time now. And well, we're seeing it. We're seeing what was hiding behind the scenes. He was abusing Emiru from all signs that looks at this point in time. Again, it is alleged. It needs to go through all its processes and stuff, but let's not mince words here. Mizkif confirmed a lot of it. In his defense, he was confirming it. The only thing he has, honestly, is she threw plushies at me. That's about it. That's his only real defense, is she threw plushies at me. I have no reason to believe anything that comes out of Mizkif's mouth at this point in time, until there's further evidence that maybe exonerates him and shows that Emiru is a schizo as well. But at this point in time, all evidence does point to the fact that Mizkif is a schizo stalker psycho. That's it. But what else is new, I guess?